Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader at detectrader.com. December the 3rd, Tuesday. These are the charts of the day. Another crummy day on Wall Street, another very good day at detectrader.com. There's a lot of stocks that we're going to show you today are popping, breaking out, and looking awfully good. It's a select market. A lot of them are biotechs and tech stocks. Of course, that's what we focus on. Let's take a look, starting with our ARDX. Nice long-term downtrend. Right-handed extended V bottom here. It's exploded, falling wedge, and then run up. It's now up 7 days in a row. It's up near resistance, but it popped through here. We're looking at 10.5 and then 13. A momentum like this very well might get there. Up next, Arrowhead. ARWR, well, it had a massive decline and then on a secondary. But then the ramp up was very impressive. This stock ran from 60 to 72 and change and then backed off. Nevertheless, very impressed with that pattern. Now, it could be a top. I would set your stops underneath today's low. Under 60, you're out. Over 73, look for 80 plus. And then we're on our way to much higher levels if that's just a stopgap measure. I got a funny feeling it's going to back and fill, consolidate in this zone for a bit. AXSM, well, a little extended, you betcha. The stock has gone from a reversal near 13.75 to 47. This is more than or about tripled since the beginning of October. It's at the top of the long-term chart as well. It is extended. I would suggest exiting partial, if not all your positions. Put a stop under today's low near 42. Gold stocks in the forefront. Junior gold QURE, which is formerly Courtaline. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, massive breakout, retest, and pop goes the weasel today up 62 cents, 9.4%. Volume was a solid 7.6 million. It looks like we're headed to 8.75, maybe 9.75. This stock looks like it's ready for another major big move up in that zone. Up next is Cardilix, which has been in a phenomenal chart ever since it bottomed in January and then had a falling wedge into April before bottoming around 14 and ramping to the mid-60s here, 61.98. Today up another 281, almost 5%. This is just breaking out of a flag. It might go, but it has to accelerate because we're at the top of the channel. If it does, 70 is your target. CGC, I'm still looking for this to make a big move this year. This is the rising wedge, explosive 3-day move from 13 to 21 and then a pullback on lower volume. Today start to pick up a little bit more volume as it reversed. Once it gets up to 19.75, I think you're destined for the 21.5 range, and then we're looking at 25 and 28.5. CRISPR, almost an engulfing bar today, is that this range was about the same as yesterday's range. There is some big resistance at 73.4, 73.75 roughly, but we get through this one, this can ramp into the mid-80s. Your 4-day lows around 66 will be your stop. EIDX swing trade initiated today as the stock popped this bull flag. Looks like it's going to 67 and 75. End phase popped today again. Volume was a solid almost 10 million shares. And the stock popped out of its recent trading range to edge higher and get above the 24 range before finishing at 23. 74 up 167. That's a 7.6% gain on solid volume, as I said. Now above the 50, I think we're ramping into the 26, 27 zone next. Iovance with a big engulfing reversal bar, taking it from 22.10 to 24.52 and closing just 2 cents off the high up 184. That's an 8% gain. It's at resistance. I'm looking for an extension to test the July high, which was 26.59. We get through that, we're looking at something in around 30 or better. ISEE exploded earlier in the month or at the end of last month. Beautiful falling wedge on lower volume. Then a pop, mini wedge pop. We need to get this to 436 with a target of 5.25 and 6. Jounce, after a falling wedge broke out earlier in the week, this thing is popped sharply. 4 days in a row, from 460 to 7 plus. It's at resistance here. You may get a pullback, but if it does extend, momentum could carry this to 8 or better. Gold may have reversed today. This is an important day, I think, for gold. The JNUG popped and gapped, but you can see a triple top and a base pattern in here. Once you get JNUG through 70.70, not too far from here, we should see a quick 10-point run. Stay tuned, it's going to get interesting. KERN exploded today from 832 to 1250 and closed right there. High for the day going away, 38%. Check this out. we get to this level, around 1270, you're looking at 14 tomorrow morning. Pretty powerful follow-through momentum. LE popped big time, jumping 2.5 points to 21% on 2.1 million, one of the biggest volumes ever seen in the stock, as it breaks out of a falling wedge and with a breakaway gap above resistance, closing right on or at resistance. The next minor resistance target 15.5 as soon as tomorrow, and then swing to 18.75, 19. Okay, looks powerful. That should be a swing. I'm wondering why I didn't put one on when it broke out there. Wow, that looks great. Breakaway gap, 2-day stall. Boom, wedge, pop, flag. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth wave started today. Target 38. mRNA base breakout, engulfing reversal bar today. Looking for a test of this zone, 22.25 as early as tomorrow. Then I'm looking for a swing to 28.5. I think PCG is destined for much higher levels. This is a very unique technical pattern. V bottom, then an implosive type high volume sell-off, an explosive high volume run-up, and then a coil. Quiet near the apex, it popped today, jumping 66 cents, 8.5%, 16 million, and the gap resistance right there is 880. Today's high, 852, 53, closing within a penny of the high. If it gaps or runs here, 10, 11, and even 12 are possibilities. QURE with a massive pop as well, jumping 914 or 16.7% on 2.8 million, breaking out of everything, but not quite the resistance level where it's at today's high. So let's take a look and see if this stock is going to be able to consolidate and then move up to 72.3 or burst right up into it. REGI popped its coil and jumped 91 cents or 5.3% on a million shares, 1,000,001. Biggest volume in 3 weeks. Breaking out of a coil, the uptrend is still intact. My eventual target, 2021. Regenix Bio popped sharply on big volume and backed off, but net it had a decent day, up almost 10%. It looks like a breakout across the major declining tops line. Next target would be, I'm looking for 51, 55, and then 62. SRNE still in play, and what a chart. Sorrento popped in 3 days from 2.5 to 4, tagging 4 today at resistance or near it. 420 is actually resistance. We get through this, this could be a $5, $6, $7 stock. Interesting pattern, very, very powerful. SSI, talk about powerful, popped a little flag today and jumped 66 cents or 14% on 1.5 million, breaking out of a little tight coil. Momentum is very strong. This stock's gone from 50 cents to 5.5, 11-fold since the beginning of August, and it's really extended up here. But momentum is strong, and you may see a move up towards 6.5, 3/4 before it's over. VRAY popped big time and pulled back. I put a swing on it on the pullback. I think it's a significant breakaway move. Fundamental news was big today. You can see that pulled back from that low, which is resistance now, and he moved through that area. 6.5 and 8 are targets. WRTC exploded on news today, and the stock engulfed and ran from 4.25 to 520, finishing at 505. That was a nice 74-cent gain of 17% on 600,000, which is huge volume for that stock, one of the biggest in the last year. I think the stock extends. I'm looking for 5 3/4, and then I'm looking for 7 1/4, or maybe even 8. And finally, XENE popped yesterday and pulled back, and today made it up those the pullback area on bigger volume. It looked to me like it has to be headed to 16 and 20. And that's it for tonight, everybody. Have a good evening. I'll talk to you tomorrow.